15. The 6 lies society tells you about happiness. There is a strange and quiet ache that visits you, isn't there? It comes not in the great tragedies, but in the small, silent moments. In the stillness after the party has ended. In the blue light of a screen before you fall asleep. In the middle of a perfectly fine Tuesday afternoon when, for no reason at all, you feel a profound sense of wrongness. You look around at your life, the one you've so carefully constructed, the one that ticks all the boxes, and you feel like a stranger in your own home. You feel you are playing a part in a play where you were handed the script but never told what the play is about. And the most bewildering part is that everyone else seems to be performing their lines with such conviction. They applaud at the right times, they laugh at the right jokes, they strive for the right prizes. And you just feel the weight of the costume, the heat of the stage lights, and a desperate urge to ask, is this all there is? This feeling, this quiet hum of cosmic dissatisfaction, is the loneliest feeling in the world. Because to admit it, even to yourself, feels like a confession of failure. It feels like you are the broken one, the one who just can't get it. But what if I were to tell you that this feeling of being broken is not a symptom of your sickness, but the first stirrings of your sanity? What if that ache of alienation isn't a sign that you are lost, but the first proof that you are finally beginning to find a path that is truly your own? What if the problem is not that you can't play the game, but that you've become far too perceptive to pretend you don't see that the game itself is rigged? You see, the society you were born into is a grand and elaborate dream. A collective hallucination built upon a few simple, powerful, and utterly false agreements. And the most powerful of these agreements is about the nature of happiness. From the moment you could understand language, you were taught a story about happiness. It was a story woven into cartoons, into fairy tales, into the curriculum at your school, into every advertisement you have ever seen. And the story is a lie. Not a malicious lie, mind you. It is a well-intentioned lie told by people who believe it themselves. A lie passed down through generations, like a treasured but ultimately hollow heirloom. The reason you feel so out of place is that a part of you, a deep, ancient, and wise part of you, knows it's a lie. Your soul is having an allergic reaction to falsehood. Your exhaustion does not come from your personal failings. It comes from the immense, soul-crushing effort of trying to believe in these 6 great lies. The first and most pervasive lie is that happiness is a destination. It is the great "I'll be happy when" fallacy. I'll be happy when I graduate. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I find a partner. I'll be happy when I buy the house. I'll be happy when I have $1 million in the bank. I'll be happy when I retire. It turns your entire life into a waiting room. You are always living in the future, in a perpetually postponed paradise that is always just over the next hill. You are like a donkey chasing a carrot that is tied to its own back. You run and run and run, and the carrot is always the same distance away. Society designs this game masterfully. It creates a staircase of achievements, and at the top of each flight of stairs is a sign that says, "Happiness, this way." So you climb. You expend enormous energy. You sacrifice your present moment. You strain your muscles and your heart. And when you finally get to the landing, you find just another staircase, and another sign. The feeling of accomplishment, the brief sugar rush of arrival, lasts for a day, maybe a week. And then the quiet ache returns, whispering, "Okay, what's next?" This is the very definition of a futile pursuit. The truth, you see, is that there is no destination. There is no grand arrival. The entire point is the walking. Happiness is not a place you get to, it is the texture of the path under your feet right now. It is the way the sunlight feels on your skin as you climb. It is the feeling of your breath in your lungs. It is the view from the landing, even if it's just of another staircase. The moment you stop treating life as a means to an end, the end arrives. It was here all along. Your feeling of perpetual dissatisfaction is not because you haven't arrived yet. It's the intuitive wisdom of your being, screaming that you've been tricked into staring at the horizon so intently that you've forgotten to experience the journey. The second lie is a close cousin to the first. It is the lie that happiness comes from acquisition, that it can be bought, owned, and accumulated. More. The great god of the modern world. More money, a bigger house, a faster car, the latest phone, more followers, more prestige. We are raised to be hungry ghosts, creatures with enormous appetites but tiny throats, forever consuming but never satisfied. The system is designed to create a sense of lack. You are not enough as you are. You are incomplete. But for just a few payments, you can buy the missing piece. Your hair is not shiny enough. Your car is not new enough. Your life is not exciting enough. And so you chase these things, these external symbols. You fill your home with objects, your calendar with events, your life with status markers. And for a moment it works. The novelty provides a brief distraction. But then the shine wears off. The new car becomes just the car. The expensive watch becomes just a thing on your wrist that tells the time. And the emptiness you were trying to fill is still there, perhaps even larger now, because you've draped it in expensive decorations and it has more room to echo. This is why you can walk into a mansion and feel a profound coldness, and sit in a tiny, humble room and feel a deep sense of warmth and peace. It has nothing to do with what is in the room. It has everything to do with what is in the person. The things you own end up owning you. They require maintenance, worry, insurance. They become the bars of a very comfortable cage. Your frustration with this cycle is not a sign of ingratitude. It is the rebellion of your spirit against the trivial. It is your soul telling you that it is not a storage unit to be filled, but a space to be inhabited. The true liberation is not in getting more, but in wanting less. It is the discovery that the greatest wealth is a life free from wanting. This leads us to the third and perhaps the most insidious lie, that happiness is the absence of pain. You have been taught to see life as a problem to be solved, and the problems are sadness, fear, anxiety, grief, and doubt. Happiness, therefore, is the state you achieve when you have successfully eliminated all of these negative emotions. So you spend your life in a state of constant warfare with yourself. You numb your sadness. You distract yourself from your anxiety. You run from your grief. You build walls around your heart to keep pain out, but you find you've also kept joy out. You've created a sterile, safe, and profoundly boring inner world. Think of a piece of music. A beautiful symphony is not just a collection of high, pleasant notes. It needs the deep, somber notes of the cello. It needs the dramatic tension of the kettle drums. It needs the silence between the notes, the moments of rest and quiet. Without the full spectrum of sound, all you have is a monotonous, irritating hum. Your life is such a symphony. Your pain, your sorrow, your struggles, they are the low notes. They provide the depth, the texture, the contrast that makes the high notes of joy and love so exquisitely beautiful. To wish for a life without pain is to wish for a symphony with only one note. The Japanese have an art form called kintsugi, where they repair broken pottery with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. The belief is that the object is more beautiful for having been broken. The cracks are not something to be hidden, but are part of the object's history, and they are highlighted in gold. Your supposed flaws, your scars, your moments of being broken, this is your kintsugi. This is where the light gets in. The deep sadness you feel at times is not a malfunction. It is a testament to your capacity to love. Your anxiety is a sign that you are awake and paying attention to the fragile and uncertain nature of existence. Your discomfort is the discomfort of growth, like a seed breaking open its shell in the dark earth. You are not broken. You are becoming whole, and wholeness includes all of it, the light and the dark, the joy and the pain. The fourth great lie is that happiness must be earned, that it is a reward for good behavior. You must be productive. You must be useful. You must be worthy. You must hustle, grind, and strive. And then, and only then, if you have been a good and diligent worker, you will be granted a small ration of happiness. This transforms the simple, natural state of being into a transaction. It fills you with a pervasive sense of guilt. You feel guilty for resting. You feel guilty for doing nothing. You feel guilty for simply enjoying a moment without it being productive or earned. You are like a tenant living in your own body, constantly worried about paying the rent of worthiness. But who is the landlord? To whom do you owe this debt? The sun does not ask you to be worthy before it shines on you. The trees do not ask you to be productive before they give you oxygen. They simply are, and you simply are. Your existence is your permission slip. You do not have to justify your right to be here, to breathe, to feel the simple joy of being alive. Happiness is not a wage you are paid at the end of a long week of suffering. It is your birthright. It is the default state you return to when you stop struggling, when you stop trying to prove you deserve it. The deep-seated feeling that you are not doing enough, that you are an imposter who hasn't earned their place, is a ghost implanted in you by a system that needs you to be a perpetual motion machine of production and consumption. The greatest act of rebellion is to simply stop, to sit, to breathe, and to allow yourself to feel a moment of peace, not as a reward, but as a recognition of the simple, unearned miracle of your own awareness. From there, we find the fifth lie, that happiness is a permanent state. This lie sets you up for constant failure. You have a wonderful day, a week, even a month. You think, I've done it, I've found it. This is me now, the happy me. And then, inevitably, a cloud passes over the sun. You have a bad day. You feel sad. You get angry. And your first thought is, I've lost it. I failed. I'm back to where I started. This is like getting angry at the ocean because the tide went out. The nature of everything is flux. The seasons change. The moon waxes and wanes. And your inner world is just the same. It is a weather system. Sometimes it is sunny. Sometimes it is rainy and stormy. Sometimes it is foggy, and you cannot see 2 feet in front of you. The wise person does not try to control the weather. They learn to dress for it. They learn to dance in the rain. They learn that the fog will eventually lift. The suffering is not caused by the changing of your emotional states. The suffering is caused by your resistance to them. It is the desperate attempt to cling to the sunny days and the frantic effort to push away the stormy ones. But you cannot have one without the other. To be alive is to feel the whole spectrum. Joy is a wave. It rises, it crests, and it recedes back into the ocean of your being. If you try to grab it and hold it, you will only have a handful of foam. The secret is not to possess happiness, but to appreciate its visits. To be fully present with the wave when it comes, to feel its power and beauty, and to let it go gracefully when it recedes. knowing that the ocean is vast and there will be other waves. Your feeling of failure when your happiness wanes is not a personal defect. It is a misunderstanding of the very nature of life. You are not a static object. You are a living, breathing, dynamic process. You are the tide itself. And finally, the sixth lie, the one that glues all the others together in the modern age, that happiness looks the same for everyone. This is the lie of the curated life, the social media mirage. Happiness, you are told, is a beautiful couple on a beach in Bali. It's a group of smiling friends at a rooftop bar. It's a perfect-looking family in matching outfits in a field of sunflowers. It is a singular, glossy, highly photogenic aesthetic. And so you look at your own life in all its messy, complicated, unphotogenic reality, and you feel a profound sense of lack. My life doesn't look like that. Therefore, I must not be happy. You are being asked to compare your behind-the-scenes footage to everyone else's highlight reel. This is a game you can never, ever win. It forces you to perform happiness rather than experience it. You start to think about how your experiences will look to others. Will this make a good story? Is this picture good enough to post? You become the curator of a museum of your own life, instead of the person living it. But what if your happiness isn't loud? What if it isn't photogenic? What if your deepest joy is the smell of old books in a quiet library? Or the feeling of soil in your hands in a small garden? Or the intricate pleasure of solving a complex problem alone at your desk? Or the comfortable silence you share with someone you've known for 20 years? Society has no room for these quiet, deep, and personal joys. They cannot be easily packaged and sold. They don't make for exciting advertisements, so they are devalued. They are made to seem lesser, but they are not. Your unique, peculiar, and unmarketable joy is the most authentic thing you have. The feeling that your happiness is inadequate is a direct result of trying to fit your magnificent, wild, and unique soul into a tiny, prefabricated box. The ultimate freedom is to stop performing. It's to delete the script, to walk off the stage, and to go find what makes you feel alive, whether or not anyone else understands it, approves of it, or gives it a single like. So you see, that quiet ache, that feeling of being an alien, is your greatest gift. It is the internal compass of your soul telling you that you are walking in the wrong direction. You have been navigating with a map drawn by someone else, a map that leads to a fictional treasure. The world isn't a problem to be solved. It is a mystery to be lived. And you are not a problem to be fixed. You are a mystery to be unfolded. And when you truly understand this, something remarkable happens. A great weight is lifted. The frantic chase stops. You cease your war with your own mind. You begin to look at your own sadness and anxiety not as enemies, but as messengers. You start to see the immense beauty in the ordinary, imperfect moments of your life. The need for external validation withers away because you have found a source of peace within yourself. Yes, there may be a new kind of loneliness. When you stop playing the game, you can no longer relate to the other players in the same way. You will listen to their anxieties about the next promotion or the latest gadget, and it will sound like a foreign language. There is a grief in this. The grief of letting go of a world you once belonged to. But this is not the loneliness of isolation. It is the solitude of integrity. It is the dignified silence of the mountain peak, which is lonely, yes, but also sees everything with perfect clarity. You are not broken. You are waking up. And the process of waking up can be disorienting. It's like emerging from a dark movie theater into the bright afternoon sun. It hurts your eyes at first. You feel lost. But slowly, your vision adjusts, and you begin to see the world as it is, not as you were told it was. You begin to see the sky. You begin to see the faces of the people passing by. You begin to see yourself for the very first time. So the next time that quiet, cosmic ache visits you, don't push it away. Don't numb it. Don't pathologize it. Welcome it. Pour it a cup of tea and listen to what it has to say. It is the truest friend you have. It is the voice of your own authentic being calling you home. It is whispering to you, across all the noise and all the lies, a simple and profound truth. The game is not for you. And that is not your failure. That is your liberation.